Today, I'm going to take you on a walk through my favourite district in my favourite city in all of Thailand. We're going to check out what I think is the best street food market, some seriously cool cafes, and end up at one of the most serene and unusual temples you can find in the whole country. So welcome to Suthep in the city of Chiang Mai.
Suthep is an area to the west of Chiang Mai's old city, a place that's most famous for the Doi Suthep temple sitting on the highest peak above the town. But for me, this district lying in the shadow of the mountain is one of the most livable areas in the whole of Thailand. And I kicked off this local adventure inside the place where I'd been staying for the past 3 months.
Good morning and welcome back to another day in Thailand, where you once again join me from our apartment here in Chiang Mai, right up in the north of the country. And today, I want to try something a little bit different. I want to take you on a walk around my favourite district of this city. So, without any further ado, let's get outside and start walking.
The Nimman complex is on Soi 6 right off the main Nimman Road, which is one of the most well-known areas of Suthep. A hipster hub with a very international vibe, full of cool cafes, shops and restaurants, making it extremely popular with expats and digital nomads. I've already made a completely separate video breaking down my costs of living in Nimman, and I won't lie, it is a bit of a bubble, so be prepared to either love or hate this place.
So here we are now, right on the edge of Nimman, and I've got to be honest, when I first came to this area about 4 years ago, I wasn't a massive fan, but since living here for the past 3 months, I've definitely got a bit of a soft spot for it. There's a lot of perks about living in this area. It's not for everyone, but it is pretty nice. The plan now is to head up this way and across the main road into Chiang Mai University, where the vibe is going to start to change very, very quickly.
You know you're getting close to the CMU campus when you start seeing the many purple fences. Now, it might seem a little strange that I'm taking you onto a university campus in a travel video like this, but I think you'll very quickly see why. Obviously, there's a lot of buildings and facilities here just for the students, but there's also some amazing green spaces that are open to the public. In particular, the Angao Reservoir is a stunning spot to head for the sunset, where you can join the locals for a walk or a run along the waterfront with views across to the ever-present Suthep mountain. I honestly came here several times a week just to relax at the end of the day, but that's not all there is here.
Right then, I am now inside the gates of CMU, Chiang Mai University, and this is one of my favourite places just to walk through, really. It's so nice and green, the campus is very spread out, and you get amazing views of the mountains as well. In this part of the university where I'm standing is mainly a lot of sports fields, so on Saturday mornings and in the evenings you'll see lots of students out there playing football, baseball, and then there's the big stadium as well where you'll see lots of people running and jogging. And you can't help but think when you're in a place like this, what would it be like to go to university with views like this and a campus like this? It must be really, really nice, right? I'm now going to walk up this road to the big clock tower, and then I'm going to turn left onto the Suthep Road, and I think this is one of the best places in the whole city to find some food. And this is also an area where I first stayed in Chiang Mai about 4 years ago, so it's very close to my heart. It's a really lovely place, so let's get over there now.
I first came to Chiang Mai in 2018 as part of a longer backpacking trip around Southeast Asia, and at that time I was looking for a place to slow things down and find some routine. And we settled on the D Condo Campus Resort right at the mountain end of the Suthep Road, where I first discovered just how great this area was for living. In fact, this one stretch of road on the other side of the university gave me access to secluded nature, cheap street food, and the very best cafes, all within walking distance of my front door. But I won't lie, despite all of the obvious benefits, travelling and living abroad also has its challenges. There's homesickness, loneliness, and trust me, whatever problems you're dealing with back home have a funny way of coming right along with you. Which is why I'm very happy to say that this video is a paid partnership with BetterHelp. BetterHelp can connect you to a credentialed therapist without the need to see them in person. It's completely online. And I can honestly say, being able to stay in touch with my specific therapist throughout my time abroad has been really valuable to me. It's helped me to build a routine and keep track of my own personal mental health and goals, and BetterHelp makes it really easy. You can click the link in the description to fill out a questionnaire that assesses your specific needs, and you'll usually get matched with your therapist within 48 hours. You can then book phone calls, video chats, or even just message if you prefer, whatever's the most comfortable for you. And the app makes it really easy to book sessions on days and times that suit you, no matter what time zone you're on. So if you think that you might benefit from some therapy, you can click the link down in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/oneshotadventures. And now back to what might be the best road in the whole of Chiang Mai.
Okay, so this gate of the university leads right out onto the hustle and bustle of the Suthep Road, which runs right down to the Suan Dot gate of the old city. And as you can see, there is a lot of stuff here. There's cafes and restaurants, but when I think of this area, I think of it as a practical place. There's a lot of hardware and homeware stores, so it definitely caters more to locals and students who are living here. But when the sun starts to go down behind the mountain, this road turns into the most unbelievable street food market.
And it's pretty hard to miss. At the end of every day, hundreds of street food vendors line up along the roadside here, selling a wide variety of different foods, from Thai classics to Western comforts. And because it mainly caters to the local students, the prices are always very good, much cheaper than anything you'll find in the tourist areas of the old city. When I lived at D Condo, I genuinely came here every single night, mostly for a pad krapao. But this part of Chiang Mai is also the perfect place for experiencing the outdoors.
I'm now walking up to the much quieter mountain end of the Suthep Road, which is right near the D Condo where we stayed that very first time. Where the Suthep Road ends, you can turn right, and beyond that, you can get onto the Monk's Trail, which is a really amazing hiking route up to Wat Pha Lad, which is a really unusual temple that's well worth making the climb to. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm doing enough walking today, but let's cut to some footage of another time.
The Monk's Trail is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, an old walking route hidden along the slopes of Suthep Mountain, traditionally used by the local monks. As I already mentioned, most tourists will climb this mountain by road on the way to Doi Suthep, but this hidden route takes you to a much more peaceful and secluded temple sitting right on top of a waterfall.
Now, this top end of the Suthep Road is not just about hiking trails. This is also where you can find my favourite cafe in the whole city, which just so happens to be hiking themed as well.
Some long-time viewers of the channel might remember when I included BaseCamp in one of my older Chiang Mai videos, but since then it's changed a lot. It's now grown from simple cafe into a proper outdoor activity hub, with 2 restaurants, a coffee shop and a trail shop, along with free showers and facilities for hikers to use. It's a great place to come and relax, listen to live music on weekends, or just get on with some work, and the staff are always super friendly. So after a quick break, I headed a little way back down the Suthep Road and off one of the many connecting sois, where once again, things started to look very, very different.
Well, as you can see, just by heading off the main road and into the sois, things already feel like a world away from where we started in Nimman. But these back streets are not quite what they seem. You can find a lot of very unexpected places down here where the real contrast of Chiang Mai is fully on display. You can always tell when you've left the Nimman bubble just from seeing the prices of things in all the restaurants and cafes. There's a noodle soup shop down there where you can get a bowl for 25 baht. And I mean, the cheapest you're going to find in Nimman is probably 45, 50, so you're always paying that little bit more there. And this is just around the corner, really.
But as I just said, Suthep is an area filled with many contrasts, and I was very quickly about to leave the land of 25 baht noodles and enter one of the fanciest places in the city. And you know you're getting close to it from the lines and lines of bikes parked outside the front.
So I am now standing right outside of the Baristro, which is a cafe with an entrance fee. And once we get inside, I think you might start to understand why.
I paid the 80 baht, which they give you back as credit to spend inside, and then entered a whole different world. Chiang Mai is very well known for its incredible coffee shops, but they don't get much more incredible than this. Baristro is a small chain of artisan cafes throughout the city, but this one is the unique Japanese-themed branch, complete with authentic courtyard gardens, making it a great place for a photo shoot, hence the entrance fee. Aside from being very photogenic, there are 2 areas inside for drinks. There's the main cafe right at the front, but I made my way towards the slow bar at the back, where you get the full Baristro experience. I took my time to study the intense selection of different options on the menu, and just went for black coffee in the end. But even that was quite a performance. Now, I do like my coffee, but this really is an experience for the biggest of coffee nerds. It feels a lot more like a fancy cocktail bar than a Starbucks. And after about 10 minutes, my personal barista finally served me a very special brew.
Well, that was a bit over the top, wasn't it? 120 baht for an iced coffee. It was really, really good, to be fair, and you get that whole barista experience, but wow. That's the price you pay for entering Selfie Central. Now that I'm caffeinated, I'm going to carry on to our final stop, which is the incredible Wat Umong, which I think is one of the best temples in all of Chiang Mai. And it's a place that maybe isn't on every single tourist itinerary. Most people head up to Doi Suthep to get those views because that is the most famous temple in the whole area. But this place, I think, is really, really special, and you definitely won't want to miss it.
I made my way through more local streets until I saw the signs for my final stop of the day.
Okay guys, I've now made it to what is the back entrance of Wat Umong, and I think you're going to see very quickly why I think this is such a special place.
Wat Umong is over 700 years old, a genuine forest temple with a sprawling campus hidden within the trees. The area is full of outbuildings, inspirational quotes on the trees, and genuine historic artifacts just lying on the forest floor.
Well, check this out. This is a proper forest temple. It's so peaceful. And look at this over here. You just got rows and rows of sort of ruined Buddhas. There's a big head in the middle there, and some of the other ones are crumbled, but you can actually see that they've reassembled quite a lot of them, putting the heads back on. But this isn't even the interesting part. The main part of the temple is over this way, and you'll see that most of it is made up of little underground tunnels. Let's go and check it out.
There are genuinely hundreds of different temples in Chiang Mai province, but you're unlikely to see many others that look like this. Wat Umong's many unique tunnels were designed to create the most silent atmosphere possible, perfect for meditation, and it's quite an experience to walk around the stone labyrinth.
How amazing is this, eh? You get to the end of a sort of long corridor, and then there's offshoots either way, and Buddhas everywhere you look. It's a really amazing place to come and reflect, meditate. Beautiful. When I came here the first time a few weeks ago, there were loads of bats on the ceiling, but I can't actually see any today. I could see a few bees or wasps' nests, but no bats. It was really creepy. I wish they were here today because it makes some good footage. But I mean, this is amazing enough, isn't it? The tunnels. Okay, so we've got through to the other side of the tunnels, and now we can climb up to the main pagoda, which is right on top of the whole temple. Well, as you can see just behind me here, this is the roof of the tunnels that we were just walking through, and now I'm on top where there's the huge stone pagoda, and it looks like I've got this whole place to myself. Wow, how amazing. But the best thing is, this isn't even all of the temple to see, so let's get back through the tunnels, get my shoes, and I'll show you another area of this quite big temple.
Walking around this place is honestly like being on the set of an Indiana Jones movie with all the statues and crumbled ruins hidden amongst the trees, so I continued my stroll through the peaceful grounds until I finally hit the water's edge.
So I've just crossed over one of these two bridges to the fish feeding pond. It's a really beautiful spot. You can see that there are a lot of fish beneath the surface, and if you look close enough, you can see that there's lots of turtles here as well. They're quite shy, and if you move, they tend to dive down into the deep parts of the water, but they're definitely there. If you stay still, wait, it's one here, there's one here. Oh, there's two of them. Those ones are actually pretty small. There's some massive ones in there as well. But this small island should really be called Pigeon Island. It's absolutely covered in them. You can buy some fish food at the entrance to the fish feeding pond as well, but to be honest, I think the birds are eating most of it. Anyway, I think I should get out of here before I get shat on.
This all started to remind me a little bit too much of Trafalgar Square before they banned pigeon food in the early noughties, so I think it's time to call it a day.
Well then, I think that's pretty much it from good old Suthep. I hope you enjoyed the walk from Nimman to Wat Umong, and maybe it showed you a new side to this city that most tourists don't really get to. I'm now going to walk exactly the same way back to our apartment, so I'm not going to film it because you've already seen it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Next time, I break down the 10 best things to do in Chiang Mai from my many visits to this city, from essentials to real hidden gems.